Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel God Will Do It For You. My name is Steven and I hope everyone's having a great day so far. And what we're going to be talking about today is when people know you're chosen or that there's something special about you. And the reason why this is important is because with this comes a variety of different things that I'm going to speak about in this video. And one in particular is you'll notice people switch up on you. And I'm pretty sure you've noticed that some point or another in your Christian walk. And you're probably like, I didn't even do anything. I've been doing the same thing, been a nice person, always greeted them if I've seen them. And then all of a sudden just snap, switch. And so I love to go to this Bible verse in Psalms. Looks like, let's see, chapter 119. I'm going to go to 66, verse 66. So it says, teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe in your commandments. Plain and simple. And the reason that this is important is because the better your judgment and the more knowledge you have, the more it builds on that discernment that you need in order to make sure that you make the best decisions that you know how at that time with full confidence that you have at that moment. And what I've noticed on my Christian walk, and I still even notice to this day, is when you are chosen and God has a specific task for you to carry out, there's this aura that you carry. Your energy vibration is really big. It's bigger than you realize, because when you walk into a room, all of a sudden people look at you. And I'm pretty sure you can walk into a room, let's say, you walk into an event and you can sense somebody that has real tense energy, like they're not happy. You can sense somebody that's just full of positive energy. You can sense someone that is just negative minded. You can sense it. Is because the energy that you resonate, it does catch people's attention, whether it's good or bad attention. And in particular, for some of God's chosen, the energy that we resonate is very positive, it's very bright, and it's very noticeable. Now, initially, you may say, hey, people they see me walking into the room. Well, believe it or not, people watch you more than you realize, especially if you have a particular routine and you visit particular places. People watch you when you're not looking. And when you decide to happen to look that way, they just cut their head, pretend that they're not looking, but they look more than you realize. And I'm pretty sure you've noticed, hey, let's say you have a particular relationship, hey, you're getting to know somebody, then all of a sudden, everything's going good. But then when they start finding out what you're trying to do with your life, they switch up real quick. So for instance, let's say a guy's getting to know a woman. The conversation seems to be flowing smooth. And then when you start talking about God and they start realizing how spiritual you are, they start realizing your goals, the actual will that God has for your life, believe it or not, to some people it actually makes them feel a little inferior and a little intimidated. And some people don't know how to handle that. Believe it or not, they don't know how to handle that, and so they switch up. The good thing about when they switch up is, as long as you stay consistent and just go about your life and ignore that, not meaning that you just keep trying to get their attention or whatever. If you see somebody switch up, like they're saying, hey, then all of a sudden they walk past you as if you are invisible, you keep on going about your day, because a couple of things could be happening. They could be trying to affect your mood. They could be feeling some type of way internally about themselves as to why you have this upbeat, positive attitude, and there may be something internally, that personal, that they're dealing with. And 3, what I've noticed about these people is they always cut the corner. And so what I mean by that is I've noticed that with food customers. I remember this gentleman said, man, what you're doing is what I used to try to do, but he gave up on it. Well, this gentleman was like, hey man, how you doing? Hey man, how you doing? Then sometimes he'll just be looking at you. He clearly see me walk in the building. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'll say his name and he won't say anything. He'll just be looking forward, and he clearly sees me and he'll just ignore me. So I'm like, okay. I still keep my smile on, talk to everybody else, and go on with my business. And then, let's say next week, all of a sudden, hey, Steven, what's going on, man? Because when people realize that you are going to be who you are, no matter what, and that they have no power to affect how you behave based on how they behave, again, there's something about that energy that you project. It draws them back. Most of the time, they don't even know why they are behaving that way. It's the same thing for a woman. A woman may be getting to know a gentleman. The gentleman starts to realize certain things about this woman, that she is not the ordinary type of woman. And then now the manipulation comes. Now the conversations get short. Now it's all manipulation. Insecurity or a personal issue that they're dealing with. They see something in you more than what you realize that you see in yourself. I'm telling you, I see it all the time. All the time. People switch up, and whatever they're dealing with internally, you cannot allow it to affect you. The key, though, is you have to have the wisdom and knowledge and the discernment to recognize it as quick as possible, because it's usually the people that you see on a regular that switch up. I just experienced it this morning. A woman, I walk into Walmart every day, and she normally says, hey. And I noticed it the other day, but I didn't want to assume. But then when I went in today, she looked at me, and then she purposely turned her back and looked away, so that way she wouldn't have to say hi. Now, of course, me experiencing this several times in my life, it does not bother me. But again, there are certain things that people see in you that you do not see in yourself. There are certain qualities that you possess that people realize is not the norm. They see what's special in you. They see the way you talk, the way you smile, even though we're in a time period where people aren't really smiling. They really aren't. They see that you're grinding and you're working towards your goals, especially people that you're trying to get to know. When I mean get to know, I mean towards a relationship. They see it. Heck, there's someone right now that I clearly see certain signs of certain things, and I just keep it moving, because guess what? All you have to do is pull back and then watch what they do. And it all starts with wisdom, knowledge. The wisdom being recognizing what you have seen in the past, so that way you can apply it to now, which will play into the knowledge of knowing what to do once you recognize it, and then using discernment to make sure that you have the right people in your circle and you know who to keep distance from. Because anybody that does that, for me, I create an enormous amount of distance. I just back up. See you later. If they want to speak, fine. If they don't, I don't care. If anybody that I'm trying to get to know does that, that's an automatic cutoff. I'm sorry. Because we're not in competition, and sometimes that's the, people start looking at, well, dang, I don't know this and that, whatever they're thinking. Because I don't like to assume, and I don't like to think negative. But what I've learned is that it's usually something internal that they're dealing with, or what they're wrestling with, or they're not happy about. And then they see you doing what you're doing, it bothers them. It could be the enemy working through them. It could be just their personal insecurity. It could be that they're trying to affect your energy. Whatever the case may be, that's where the discernment comes in. The wisdom and the knowledge. Those three things are gifts from God, because not everybody has that. It's a gift from God, the ability to be able to see. That's how I like to say it. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, no, I can see now. And what I mean by I can see through people's intentions. If certain things are being done, let's say, gentlemen, you're talking to a woman and they hear that you're about something and this and that. They see that you're working towards your goals, and you didn't even ask them for pictures. And now all of a sudden they're sending you pictures, showing, not nude or anything like that, but they're showing you in their most lavish way. They're trying to attract you. Women got game too. They know what they're doing. Don't think that they don't know what they're doing. Women are very intentional. If they want to attract a man, they know how to do it. Just like a man. If a man is attracted to a woman and he sees that she's of high value and that she brings something to the table that's out of the ordinary, trust and believe, watch his approach to you change, as long as it's not manipulation, and as long as it's not, a facade, something that he's doing, and then he's just trying to lure you in, and then he's going to switch up later. Because I hear that all the time where people say, hey, that's not what they projected to me in the beginning is not what I experienced once I decided to commit to that person in a relationship. They all, give it 2 months with anybody. You can't be fake for so long. It's just, acting is exactly what it is. You're playing a part, but being real and intentional in who you are is naturally going to come out. God knows how to expose somebody. He really does. The key to making sure that you aren't affected when people switch up on you is to be who you are and stay focused on God's will for your life. Focus on the goal. Focus on the task. Do not allow someone to affect your energy, because if you start doing that, then that means anybody can do that if they start switching up or acting funny on you. It's okay. Leaders lead by example. So naturally, you're going to stand out if you are a leader. Otherwise, you'll just blend in with them, and they wouldn't have a reason to change up on you. They wouldn't, because you're just like them. You're just like them. But what makes you special is that you have the ability to keep moving forward in spite of what they are doing, and people recognize that. Trust me, they will recognize it. Then all of a sudden, watch, give it a week or 2 weeks, then they're back waving. Give it a week or 2 weeks, the communication will start to get better. When people realize that they have no power over you, that's what it's all about. When they realize they have no power to control or manipulate you, they have no choice but to either submit to who you are, meaning, hey, they're just an amazing person. There's something special about them. Or they'll actually distance themselves from you because you make them uncomfortable. And what I mean by you make them uncomfortable because they don't know why they feel so uncomfortable around you. And it's because of that positive energy that you radiate, who you are, what you are projecting, your connection with God, your faith, your spirituality, of how much you believe in God and how you talk about God. And you're not just talking about God about, what he can do for you. You're talking about God of your experience with him and how he's molded you into who you are. That's not the normal type of talk about God these days. Nobody wants to hear God's going to make you suffer to build you up into a better person. Nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear, if I be good, I get cars or a house and this and that. That's not the God that we serve. The God that we serve knows how to bring about something in you that no human being knows how to get out of you. It doesn't matter what motivational speech it is. Only God can do that internal work in you. And when he's done that, you are presenting to the world the work of God, of what he's done in you. And that's what makes you so unique. That's what makes you stand out. That's what makes you walk with confidence. That's what makes you so driven, even though all the external circumstances are against you. That's what makes you unique and special, is that you know how to persevere. You've been through it. You know what it means to go through a storm. You know what it means to go through spiritual warfare. You know what it means for Satan to mess with you. You know what it means for people to betray you, to turn their back on you. And guess what? You still haven't changed who you are. And you're actually striving to become a better and better person. You, ma'am or sir, are unique. So the next time you start to experience certain things that don't make sense, realize God's chosen ones, we stick out. We stick out like a sore thumb. When you wonder how people know that you're chosen and there's something special about you, it's all these things that I just named that I've personally experienced and that others have experienced. You could be chosen. You could be a mother or father in your late age, and all your children are blessed. That is a blessing. That's a blessing. That means somebody in the past prayed for you and God answered that prayer. You don't have to be super wealthy to be blessed. You could just be here. That's a blessing. So I hope this video resonates with you. Hope it's a blessing. I hope it's another step forward to get you to the next day, because everything that I do on this channel is all an example to glorify God's kingdom and to give him all the glory and all the credit and everything that we do. And I just hope you have a good rest of your day, because this weather is fantastic. And until next time.